What's up, Leafs fans, and welcome back to Leafs Digest. We are live to break down, watch along game number 78 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season against the All right. Should be good to go now. I think it's fixed now. There we go. Every now and then this happens. My bad. All right, we should be good to go now. So, TML saying against the what do you say? Oh, that was what was running around. All right, there you go. Yes. So, in terms of the rights to do this, no, there is no rights. There is no game that's going to be put onto the screen here. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys, I can't do that. But if you want to follow along with what's going on, make sure to just turn off the audio or lower the audio of what you're watching. You can hang out here. But you guys were saying, hey, like, we don't like this broadcast. I keep seeing people complain about the broadcast that's going on. You don't like the commentary. You don't like that we don't have a hometown broadcast. People who support the Leafs. Well, you know what? I said, all right, I see the comments. I see what you guys are saying. I'm going to come out and go all the way in. The Leafs jersey, the Leafs hat here tonight. We are full blown into this Leafs broadcast here tonight. We will be watching along, live reacting to everything that goes on. If there are quiet pauses or anything like that, just know it's because I don't know what to say. And we will react in real time to everything that's happening here. So, there's a lot going on here in my seat. There's so many things around me, so many things plugged in, having to try to set up, getting the stream in front of me right now. But yes, we will watch this live. If anyone bets as well, I will be placing live bets. I'll tell you as well right now. I did bet the Leafs money line to win this game tonight. They were plus money to win. I had bet Mitch Marner a hat trick here tonight, plus 15,000 on the game here tonight, so 150 to 1 for anybody else. I don't know. If you guys are interested in betting, you can also ask me questions as well. But yes, that's what I'm on as of right now. There's also a boost on Bet365 if anybody has that. I mean, I'm not trying to peddle these things, but if you guys have this, then you can also bet. There is a point boost on Marner to record over 0.5 assists in this game here tonight. Yes, I do have the door open in the back here. My dog is sitting here beside me. At some point, she will probably be in and out while this stream goes on. So need to leave that open, otherwise she'll freak out. So that is what's going on. But I mean, look, Ryan O'Reilly returns to the lineup here tonight. I'm excited to see what this kind of looks like. I do have concerns with him being in and Sheldon Keefe deciding, hey, I need to stick with Nylander, Marner, and Tavares all in on that line together. I'm not the biggest fan of that idea. I think that there should be some type of separation at some point here. We should see we should see separation between Nylander and Marner. I don't think they should be on the same line. I think at least one of them should be with Tavares, and then the other one should be with Matthews or O'Reilly. I don't think it is optimal for this team to have those guys play together like that the entire time. So we'll see how this plays out. We'll see kind of what the script is as the game moves on, because we know Keefe is very quick to go to the blender here. He's very quick to kind of throw things in and just say, like, all right, we'll switch things up 10 minutes into the game, 15 minutes into the game, whatever it is. They'll move through things fast. But as that goes on, this is what I'm interested in. The other thing that I'm interested in here tonight is Samsonov on the road. His record on the road this year hasn't been great. They're showing them on the screen there, his overall record. But more than anything, it's been his record. More than anything, it's how he's going to handle playing in Boston. Boston is going to be a tricky environment. It is going to be tough, physical. The fans will get on you. I mean, my sister is dating a guy from Boston. He's a Bruins fan, a Boston sports fan. He took her to a Leafs-Bruins game. The Leafs won last year, and she was getting heckled out of the building. So what do you like? What do you want here? These guys are nuts. But here we go. For me, I will tell you guys right now. Drop of the puck right now. First of all, interesting lineup to start this one. You're gonna go with Kampf, Aston Reese, Lafferty to open. Looks like for Boston out there, okay, yeah, they're going down in their lineup as well. So it's more of just a matchup play. Obviously, Toronto has to submit their line first, so they said this is what we're going with, and Boston said, yeah, we'll match, which I think is kind of interesting at home, why Boston wouldn't send, all right, that's what you're going to go with. We're going to send our first line out there, but it is what it is. Look, one thing that I'm looking for Luke Schenn in this game specifically is him to be physical. I don't need this guy running around smashing guys' heads off the glass, but we know that Boston is going to play a very physical game here. That's the nature of their game. Like, they are going to finish every single check. They don't care how late it is. They don't care where you're standing in relativity to the boards. They don't care what's going on. They will finish every check, and basically that's what I'm looking for from Schenn. Like, that's the kind of game plan that I want to see out of him. Morgan Riley, to me, I know you guys are going to say this is a little bit nuts. I get it. In this game against Boston, I'm not looking for him to be a defenseman. That's not his game. He's not a defenseman, right? Like, he plays defense, but he's not a defensive player. I'm looking for him to utilize his feet, utilize his offense, and join in and try to create some type of problem for Boston when he's out there, because you know that you can rely on Luke Schenn on the back end, right? So, for me, that's kind of what I'm looking for out of that pair. Obviously off the ice here now, but that's kind of the setup in that. Now, I'm interested to hear where you guys are at in the chat. Obviously, you guys are watching the game and listening to me, so it might be hard for you to be bouncing around and doing the chat and stuff all at the same time, but I am kind of interested in your thoughts on the Matthews, Bunting, Yarncroke line. I think that Yarncroke is very deserving of being on that line with them. I'm interested to see how this plays come playoff time. We have, including this game, 5 games left in the season. But reality is, if they can't produce with Matthews on that first line, it's not worth it. Like, I get that it can create matchup problems because you're going to look at Matthews on 1, Tavares on 2, O'Reilly on 3, but if you can't score, then it's not worth it. All right, O'Reilly, first shift here with the Leafs since his injury, making his return back to the lineup. We talked about it in the last game with Joe on. Oh, there you go, Luke Schenn getting some grills, getting Hathaway's grill. Schenn, Hathaway, Achari, like this here is what Achari is brought in to do. We're gonna see from Noel Achari what he was meant to do here tonight. Oh my God, Justin Hall just getting absolutely bodied off the puck by Brad Marchand. Shocker. Like, this guy is so much smaller than you, and you just can't find ways to win battles. Like, pathetic. It is what it is. All right, hopefully that timer that's up on the screen there should be able to go live while you guys are watching. Maybe I have to refresh, but should be able to follow along the game live in terms of goals, shots, time that's on the screen. It's following along with the ESPN page, so I think that should be live. If not, I could try to find somewhere else that might be better and pull that into the screen instead, but it is what it is for the time being. Wow. I mean, we're negative in the chat already in terms of what's going on. I'm just calling out plays as I see them. I see Hall get knocked off the puck. That's just kind of what he is, right? Like, You guys are going to see me, my thought process on what I feel and see when I'm watching. Oh my God, Morgan Rielly, you got to get inside that guy. You just allow him a free shot at the side of the net. Like, these are the things I'm talking about. There's no box out there. We're not going to overreact to this, but he just watched the guy shoot. Now, I don't know if that's a situation where he's looking at it saying basically like, all right, you don't have any type of angle, but there was no urgency to jump out, lift a stick, push a guy. Like, there was none of that from Rielly there. He just stood and said, all right, yeah, shoot it. Free lane to the net, brother. And these are things that frustrate me with Rielly in his game. It's like he's watching like he's going to get the pass and be able to score backdoor. I don't get that. All right. A little scrambly right now. Boston's able to set up in the zone. We do have the Kampf, Aston Reese, Lafferty line out there. I don't think Lafferty's terrible. He doesn't really do much for me. He's kind of about as effective offensively as Pierre Engvall, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't say significantly worse. He's about as effective. He's not as good of a defender as Pierre Engvall, that's for sure. But the reality is he's $1 million less. He has an extra year, and you opened up space to bring in Matthew Knies. If Lafferty doesn't work out, you just find a way. Maybe you move him in the offseason. Maybe he's a guy who's the 13th forward next year. Maybe he's the 13th forward when Knies comes, but you did open up $1 million, and you kind of free yourself up to add that extra player in Matthew Knies. Whereas if you were to have kept Engvall, I know people will sit here and complain about Lafferty, but reality is, if you were to have kept Engvall, then you're going to have to dish somebody else out of this lineup, and then if Knies comes up, you're going to have to fit him in. So you still have the ability now to bring up Wayne Simmons if need be. You keep McCabe, Achari in the lineup. Lafferty does have some speed. He just isn't quite capable at zone entry. It's not like the best thing that he's been here in Toronto. But, oh, man, watching Bertuzzi is going to be a killer, isn't it? Every time I see this guy on the ice, I was watching a game, the Bruins game the other night. This guy had 2 goals. The second one ends up ultimately getting called off because of the whistle going and the puck was covered, funny enough. But every time I see him on the ice, it's just a reminder like, yep, could have had this guy. Probably should have had this guy. Care saying, is the game on? Yes, the game is on. We are about 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the first period, going to commercial break here now. Or there's a commercial on the screen here now. If you guys are watching right now, you have not hit subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the playoffs. So if you haven't hit subscribe yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Man. I can't get this clock to tick down properly. See if I can. Whoop. Hold on. I'll see if I can get a new screen up here for you. Yeah, it's still not really clicking down at the same time. So I'll just keep refreshing it and come back. That's probably the easiest way to do it. I mean, yeah, Jim, I guess I did say don't play defense, Rielly. That's my bad. I more so meant like... I more meant not in your own zone, forget about defense. What happened here? Oh, commercial break. Well, Jeffrey Curry. Jeffrey, let's not be so negative. We're 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the game. We saw games the other night where it was slow to start, slow in the game against Florida to get going. We've had these slow rolls into games. It happens. Let's hope that as things get going here, we can start to pick up. Start to get going, realize the intensity of the game. You brought in guys like O'Reilly for moments like this. Hey, the boys aren't going right away. Get some jump into the legs. Let them know. Let them hear it. Yeah, so that's what we're looking for. Again, also, guys, every 50 likes on the stream, you guys know what happens. So hit that like button. Make sure to support the channel. Subscribe here. Hit like. While we are on commercial break, it is time for me to remind you, if you are looking for a new or used car, the best place to get that is with the Queensway Automotive Group. The Queensway Automotive Group. Link in the description there. It is also pinned to the top of the chat right now. You head over to the Queensway Automotive Group if you are looking for a new or used car. They have all different types of vehicles that you guys can get access to over there. Different brands, different varieties like that. As well, if you need repairs, you have something you think is wrong with your car, and you need to ask somebody, those are the guys to go to. The Queensway Automotive Group. We trust those people over there. We had conversations with them, so we know what they're all about. You will deal with them personally. You will deal with the people that we dealt with when we were setting up this partnership. So if it wasn't going to be right for you guys, it wouldn't have been right for us. We think that this is a good partnership all around. So if you do need a new car or a used car, make sure to head over to the Queensway Automotive Group. Okay, back from commercial break here. 13:04 remaining in the first period. We do have the Aston Reese Kampf, looks like Lafferty line. Oh, yeah, Lafferty line out there. Stretch pass, and we're going for ice. Nope, called off. I don't know why that one was called off, but all right. So at the end of the day, what we just saw from Lafferty there, getting down the ice quickly and being on that defender fast, that's kind of what I'm looking for from him. Like, you still don't have to smash the guy through the boards, but get down there. Get on the guy quick. Make him have to make a play. And you see in that situation, you've got good forecheckers, a good cycle game with Aston Reese and Kampf, where they can get down there and be heavier, a little bit physical. Like, they're not going to kill people, but they can get down there and start to put some pressure on. Now here you are. You get Boston in their zone for a good 20, 25, 30 seconds there. Now Boston ices the puck. Look, out comes one of Toronto's top lines. We're getting outshot 6-1 right now, by the way. 12:23 remaining in the first. But, yeah, now you're going to get one of your top lines out there. Oh, we did. I think we did get it. No, that was the only shot. Okay, Matthews' line comes out. Wins the draw. Gio, shot from the point, blocked. I mean, I'm not, upset about it. We need defensemen to shoot. This probably just wasn't the ideal place to put it. There was two Boston guys standing there. Likelihood of hitting either one of them was very high at that point. But see, here's where Matthews can take over. Coming out from behind the net, going getting pucks down low. Bunting is just... See, how is this not... There's a wrestling match in front of the net, and the ref's just standing there with his hands in his pockets. Like, it's stuff like this. If that happens down the other end, there is an immediate penalty called. Like, no question about it. That is an immediate penalty. It's not even that there's no penalty there. It's that if it's the other way, we know there is a penalty. Like, he gets tackled. Tackled in front of the net. What are we talking about? The NHL officiating is a goddamn joke. Nobody knows at any given moment what is and is not a penalty. Like, I can't understand. I can't understand. And honestly, too, it feels like it's because that's who that is. Like, it feels like that's because it's Michael Bunting. Just so confusing, frustrating. Don't get it. So this is the area that JT struggles in. I just don't. I don't understand. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. My buddy Cole's trying to figure out how to chat. Guys, do you guys know in the in the chat? I think you have to be signed in to an account to join in the chat here. I think we've had this problem before. If you aren't signed in, I think that's a problem. Otherwise, when you click on the video, there should be an option immediately to be able to join the chat, I think. But got to keep updating this time. This thing's frustrating. I don't get it, but all right, here we go. Halsey behind the net. Agile player. Oh, breakout pass up to Gio, up the wall. So this is one thing that's going to be concerning over the course of this game. We'll keep watching it, see what happens. But, I mean, we get lucky here because Aston, like, this guy is a stud right now. He's basically doing everything he possibly can to tell Sheldon Keefe he deserves to be in this lineup. I think that his pace of play, his intensity, the scoring he's picked up on, like career high in goals. We literally have Sheldon Keefe sitting this guy in the press box, and he goes out there and says, yeah, whatever, buddy. I career high in goals. Watch this. And puts up a 10 spot on the season. Obviously, every time it's when a TSN is doing the broadcast, not these guys, but he has been so, like, he has elevated his game truly since about 5-10 games before the trade deadline, which is about in line with the time that Noel Acciari kind of joined this team. I think that there's an element of Acciari joining that pulled Zach Aston Reese into it to be like, hey, this is the way I've got to play. I can play like that guy. We also heard him talking about the other day how, like, when O'Reilly after practice, he stays out there for a while and all he does is stand in front of the net and tip pucks. He works on the little things, tipping pucks out of the zone, tipping pucks on net. Like, we heard him talking about the impact that those guys made immediately, whether it be the work ethic, if it's just the attention to detail. I think Zach Aston Reese kind of looked around and was like, hey, I can do this and probably should be doing this. Dragged him into that a little bit, and all of a sudden you kind of get him into a rhythm here where, hey, you're playing good hockey, you're playing intense hockey, you're playing what you're brought here to do. You come here on a PTO as a fourth line guy, you're not a skill guy, you've never scored this many goals in your career, but all of a sudden you kind of get that level of play up where, okay, finish checks, block shots, like commit to getting the puck out of the defensive zone, be heavy and hard to get off the puck down low. Like, that is the prototypical fourth liner that we're looking at here, and that's the way that he's playing. That's all we could ask for out of the guy. Like, go in there, win battles, win the cycle game, be hard to take off the puck. That's what he's been since about 5 to 10 games before the trade deadline. I like Aston Reese's game. I think it's going to be really hard to take him out. Truthfully, I think that the first thing that you got to do here is when Nyes comes, if you want him in the lineup, it's not Aston Reese. It's obviously not Bunting, Yarncroke, Marner, Nylander, Matthews, Tavares, O'Reilly. It can't be Acciari. So you're basically pinned down to, it can't be Kampf either. You're basically pinned down to Lafferty and Kerfoot, in my opinion. One of the two of them has to come out. And I think we all know that Boston penalty coming. I think we all know that reality of it, Kerfoot's not coming out. That's Keefe's baby. That's who he wants in the lineup. Him and Halsey, they come into the rink holding hands together. They leave holding hands. Like, they're the three best friends anyone could ask for. They're not coming out of this lineup. So, to me, I think when Nyes comes, if you want Nyes playing, it's got to be Lafferty to come out, which it's a little bit unfortunate considering he was just a trade deadline acquisition. But I think that's part of why they went out and got him, is it's just a depth piece who can come in here at a mill and be in that situation. So, all right, here we go. McAvoy to the box. See, it would be interesting to hear the Jack Edwards broadcast tonight. He's probably out there losing his marbles over this call. Like, he's crying right now. He's literally crying. There we go. Big call in the chat. My guy Colin Sinclair. Phil needs to be on TSN. Absolute great breakdown. Thank you, Cole. I appreciate it. There we go. That's my guy. Big call. Gives All right. Here we go. Are you guys ready to watch me absolutely lose my mind at something? All right. Riley up the ice. Swing back to Matthews. See, this is where you got to utilize two sides. There we go. Thank you. This is what we talked about a couple weeks ago, or couple games ago, I guess, on the broadcast, or on the post-game stream. When you are, it doesn't work out here, but it's not going to work 100% of the time. Please just don't give up shorthanded. When you are breaking up the ice, if you're going to use the swing pass, you need to utilize it in a way that you can open things up. Like, actually get yourselves in a position here where you can go from side to side and have a different attack angle. Because the reality is, if you are going to come in a straight vertical line, you are going to have so many problems entering the zone every time. You look at them, they come in, 3 guys up the middle. Riley leads it up, he drops back to Matthews or Marner, and then whoever doesn't get the puck is in the one in the back. So when Riley enters the zone attacking at the blue line, he's basically skating up right to the blue line, hitting the brakes. Now you've got 3 men across the blue line clogging things up, as well as Boston's 4 up across the blue line. So they're clogging it up there as well. So now Matthews comes up, he drops the puck back to Marner. As soon as he's coming up the ice, he's joining the whole mess. Oh, nice try by Willie there. Okay, we're getting... So, like, this power play looks different than what we've seen over the last little while. I don't know if this has to do with Gio just being thrown in, but... yeah. Not the biggest fan of the dump and chase on the power play, I'm not going to lie. I don't know like where you guys are at relative to where I am watching the stream, but that is okay. Win the puck battle, that's fine. Like if you're going to win a puck battle and you trust that you can win the puck battle, I'm fine with it. Bunting, Yarncroke, O'Reilly. This is one thing that you're going to get a lot of, where you're going to have lineups or matchups, excuse me, that you can trust if you... Oh, good opportunity there. Where you're going to go into where, okay, you throw out the first power play unit, throwing O'Reilly with Bunting and Yarncroke out right after the power play or as the power play expires, that's literally Ryan O'Reilly playing with the 2 wingers playing on your first line. Those are Yarncroke and Bunting who are sitting in a spot playing with Austin Matthews on your first line. So now you're going to throw Ryan O'Reilly out there. Like, reality is he's not a third-line center. It's like how Tavares on most teams around the NHL probably isn't a second-line center. He's going to be a first on a lot of them out there. I still don't know long-term how we're going to enjoy that. But in terms of going from Yarncroke, Matthews, Bunting to Tavares, Nylander, Marner, I don't know if that's the ideal. Maybe switch one of those up, but I think Bunting, Yarncroke, Matthews could be a fine matchup for other teams, or a difficult matchup for other teams if they can stay together and they can produce offense. That's what we're looking for. All right, Lafferty, finish a check, separate a man from the puck. Now you're looking at regroup, take the puck up the ice. You just separated it. You don't have to kill anybody. You just separate the man from the puck, and we're looking at now we're into Boston zone. Lafferty with speed. This is one thing. He's going to create... Okay. Of course he's going to have to fight for that. Lafferty kind of getting fed a little bit. Not going to lie to you. You had to expect that you were going to have to get into a fight, but again, Jack Edwards is crying in Boston. Like, he's throwing an absolute hissy fit. He's punching things. He's throwing things on the ice. He's losing his absolute marbles. Good for... Look, this is the one thing, though, I'm going to say. This is going to be, like, biased or frustrated Leafs fan in this one. AJ Greer, this is the biggest fake tough guy of all time. Congrats on fighting Sam Lafferty, brother. You got your head punched in when you fought a real fighter in Wayne Simmons earlier in the year. So, good on you, but, just remember what happened to you last time you actually fought someone who could fight. So, there you go. Lafferty gets in there with speed, finishes a check. This is where the NHL needs to get their heads together, okay? We're on a commercial break, so I feel like we can spend some time talking about this. The NHL is the biggest goddamn joke of a league I've ever seen in my life. If anybody out there watched the Tampa Bay New York Rangers game last night, they are a gong show of a league. Gong show. This is a untrustworthy, inconsistent, ridiculous, idiotic league run with George Peros and Gary Bettman in terms of player safety and the officiating. It is a joke the way that they conduct themselves. To have referees, former referees, say that Bunting needs to change his reputation in order to not get penalties, you are sick in your head. That's one thing right there. Last night, I'm watching the Tampa Bay Lightning New York Rangers game. Braden Schneider for the New York Rangers levels Nick Paul at the blue line. Perfect, clean hit. Puck's chipped into the corner. He steps up to hit the guy, lays Nick Paul out. Absolutely clean. It is a beautiful hit. And this clown, Ross Colton on the Tampa Bay Lightning, not only jumps Braden Schneider, but full-blown tackles him and whips him down to the ice, trying to fight him. They do get fighting penalties. Braden Schneider somehow gets a fighting penalty in all of this for having a clean hit. First of all, why do you have to fight after a clean hit? Joke. That's ridiculous. That's absurd. It's just clowns like Ross Colton who are doing things like that. Second of all, you look out there at last night, Ross Colton does not get an instigator penalty for jumping the guy. It is both go to the box, it is evened out, and you're going to go in there and you're going to sit in there. That is a complete and utter joke. Like, what are we doing? If this is not an extra 2 on Greer for stepping in and fighting, for initiating this fight, the NHL has lost their goddamn minds. People need to be outside of George Peros and Gary Bettman's office with pickets because of how much of these guys are clowns. We'll see what happens here. I don't even know if what the penalty is or what the situation is right now, but I'm waiting to see how this goes. Lafferty for sure. Okay, whatever. You get a penalty for fighting. Okay. All right, there we go. We're getting an instigator. Thank God. If we didn't, I actually am rioting. I'm actually rioting. All right, back to the power play here. Generate some shots, generate some opportunities. Willie around. Okay, Mig, he got it here. I get it, but in general, the concept still applies. These absolute goons of NHL commissioner and Department of Player Safety, like there's no consistency, none. Oh, good puck movement. See, there you go. You move. You move the puck quick. You attack in angles where you can get into a position where, okay, now you're going to move. You're not standing still. The puck's moving like this the entire time. You can kind of snap the puck around to be... Like, look at the way Boston's going here. They kind of just have to move the entire time. They're not in a position where you're able to set them up. And then you see the defense. They spread apart a little bit to fit that pass into JT. Can we get Morgan Rielly off the power play? Please? Somebody with a brain in the Leafs office, please get Morgan Rielly off the power play. I don't care that you pay him $7.5 million. He's so bad. Tavares could have had that, but it's still a no-look, behind the back, swinging around pass by Morgan Rielly. Like, the problem is, and Gord brought it up on one of the calls the other day when he called in to the stream, is like, he doesn't have the ability to be mobile across. Watch how Cale Makar commands the blue line. I know Erik Karlsson isn't the greatest defenseman, but watch how he commands the blue line in the offensive zone, on the power play. Shabbat, even Chychrun when he gets those opportunities. I know I just named 2 Ottawa defensemen. Great, but like, watch when defensemen like that get the puck in the offensive zone. They are not ever turning and just skating straight one way. It is often spread eagle. You're moving across the line, able to move, change directions quickly, kind of pivot, turn on a dime, make passes across, and switch things up. Morgan Rielly is like the most robotic in the offensive zone. I don't get it when he's at least at the point. When he enters the zone, he's fine. When he circles the zone, he's fine. But otherwise, he is essentially out there just moving in one direction. This guy can't like turn his head at once. He like has to like move his whole upper body when he's turning to do that. So that's frustrating for me. Robert Smith, 4-0 Boston. It's 0-0. The score is at the bottom of the screen there. I'm trying to keep the time and the score updated for you as best I can. I have to go back and forth to the screen and update it. We got about 3 minutes left in the first period here. I like what I'm seeing from this. What are we going to call it? This is a fourth line. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this fourth line between, it's not Lafferty out there now, obviously he's in the box, but Kampf, Lokachari now, Aston Reese. I like what I see from them. They're not skilled. I can't even say that skilled. They're not skilled. But what they are is heavy and pretty good at protecting the puck, truthfully. I think that the way that they can enter the zone, they have enough speed with Lafferty to be able to create something there and get something going that way. Oh, good opportunity there from Bunting passing. Bunting just tripped on the post. That fourth line is good at entering the zone and getting the puck back. So, there is a scoreboard glitch on the broadcast right now that says the Leafs have 36 shots. This is what we're dealing with. There you go, 7. 11-7. 2 minutes remaining in the first period here. 0-0. Jeffrey Curry. Can't find many teams that Riley would be my number one on. I barely even think he's a number one here. Oh, here we go. Luke Shen. See here, Luke Shen talked to Garnet Hathaway. He's going to get in his grill. I think Garnet Hathaway would fight him, but I don't think this is the fight he really wants. You're going to punch Luke Shen's head, and it's going to be like punching a bag of concrete. Kerfoot, I don't think he even got center there. At least you got Achari. He's going to get into the zone, so... See, Achari played for the Bruins, too. He's got some of that in him. Sammy, careful there, brother. If you're going to come out of the net. Sink saying Matthew Knies will play in the ship Sunday. If anybody knows the score of that game, let me know. I don't have that here. I think that they started. I think that game started already, but again, if you guys are watching right now, you haven't hit that like button, please make sure to hit that like button. Less than half of you watching right now have hit like, so hit that like. Try to get us to, makes us 4-2. Try to get us to 50 likes here by the end of the first period if you can. We got plenty of game left, but get it to, it says it's over. I'll pull it up. See, one thing I'm excited about with a guy like Luke Shen, Achari, McCabe to an extent. Oh, I think McCabe telling Nylander there, play the body, brother. These guys are going to get into post-whistle scrums. Oh, yeah, the Gophers are going to the Natty. As soon as I open my phone, that's what comes up. The Gophers are going to the Natty. 6-2. 6-2 win. Defeats Boston University. Anyone know how many points Knies had? Trying to find stats for that. Oh, thanks, Call. 6-2 Minnesota final. Thank you, Call. All right, I got a question for the chat. I'm interested. This game tonight feels kind of like a lose-lose to me, at least around the NHL from media-wise, fan-wise. Maybe it's a little different for Leafs fans, but I think that I think that we're in a rock and a hard place here with this Leafs team tonight, in this game tonight, because Boston's not playing Krejci. We're obviously seeing Swayman in net for the Bruins. This is O'Reilly's first game back, but you end up here with, okay, now people are going to say, well, you had everyone playing. You had your 12-6. You had basically, like, this lineup right now, essentially, other than what the line combinations could be, this is essentially the lineup that we're looking at when it comes to game one of the playoffs. I think that we'll see some lines shift around. I think that would make sense for that to be the case. But like, these are the players who are starting game one. So for me, I walk away from this one, and the reason that I say, this is a lose-lose is because if you win this game, the big call says, saying 1 assist for the Knights. Okay. He's had a very, very, very quiet NCAA tournament. I'm not going to lie. It's been quiet, but playing in these big games, playing in these championship games, I think is still important. I think it still holds weight. So nonetheless, I'll let that fly. I'll let that fly. Okay, but here's what I'm saying about tonight's game. You win this game, here's the discussion tomorrow. Well, it doesn't matter because Boston didn't care. They just wanted to get out of the game, stay healthy. This doesn't matter to them. You lose the game. The conversation is, well, you had your lineup playing. You had your number one goaltender. We've seen the conversation be that he struggles on the road. If you lose this game, where are we at come tomorrow morning where maybe we don't feel the same, maybe we don't believe, but we're going to sit here and say, well, are they playoff ready? That's what we're going to hear tomorrow morning. That's going to be everything the media says. That's going to be the post game with those guys saying, yeah, they're not ready. They lost to Boston. They're not playoff ready. This team can't play playoff hockey. So that's why I think this is a lose-lose. All right, I see questions in the chat here. My guy, Cole, you are correct. AM34, the Winter Classic jersey. The only two current jerseys that I have for the Leafs, Matthews, Tavares. I have one Jays jersey, one like legit Jays jersey. Does anyone want to take a guess at what player I have for the Jays? What Jays jersey I have? Also. Oh, and if you guys are here right now, one of my good buddies, Colin, he's in the chat. He doesn't know what happens at 50 likes. We're 9 likes away on the stream. If you guys can help get us to 50, for anybody who's new here and hasn't seen yet, anybody who doesn't know what the situation is, and my guy Cole in the chat who doesn't know what happens at 50 likes, hit that like button. Help us get to 50 likes. We'll show everybody who doesn't know what happens at 50 likes. Denver Charlebois saying, Zach, you need to start growing out your facial hair. What is wrong with you? Denver, this is how it works, okay? This is how the playoff beard works. You don't grow it a week in advance. You grow it starting game one. You're supposed to shave the morning of, and then that's when you start. You shave the morning of, and that's when it goes. But I'm not going to do that because I will legitimately be a baby face. So we're not doing that. I'll trim it down next week, and then we get started. All right. 50 likes in the chat. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. We got to show my guy Colin what happens here at 50. But I'm reading the chat here. No, You guys haven't got it yet, by the way. The Jays jersey, you don't have it. It is a current active player. Current active player. All right, here we go. To everyone who's new here, at every 50 likes, so 50, 100, 150. I got these last year. I saw some videos of people doing them. I thought, no way, they can't be that bad. What do we have here in Toronto? I've had some before that weren't as strong, and I said, you know what? I'm going to order these. The Doom Cylinder smelling salts. I saw them on the NHL bench. I said, there got to be a way in order for us to get these. So every 50 likes, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. We got to 250 last year in the playoffs on live streams. Bring out the smelling salts. So thank you guys for the 50 likes. You're welcome when I have the pain. All right, there you go. There you go. All right. You guys still have not got it, who the jersey that I have for the Jays. Still have not got it. Nonetheless, I'm going to wait, and then when someone gets it, we'll say that. But look, they're showing bunting here on the screen. I don't know if anybody's still watching this, watching the commercial, or the intermission report here, the broadcast, but they're showing it on the screen. I can only assume what they're talking about. They're likely talking about the bunting, the way that they kind of officiate him differently than everyone else. If that is real, where the referees treat him differently than everyone else, they officiate him differently than everyone else because of some type of reputation, I think we all have to admit here, the NHL has a massive, massive problem. That should not ever, ever, ever be the case. You are a referee. You are here to call the game as the game is meant to be played. You can't treat people differently. You can't. You guys said I didn't have enough Leaf stuff. Went all out for this stream here. Like, my eyes are still watering. Yes, still have not. Nobody has guessed who the player is that I have. Also, Andrew saying there, yes, sometimes I have people call in. I do have people call in. If you want to call into the show, send me a message, and I will send you a link to call in. The link to join the Discord is in the chat there, so you guys can send the message on there. Join that Discord. If you got it on Twitter, if you want. On Twitter, you can follow me there. And I will answer and send you messages on Twitter as well. My handle, I'll send the link to my profile. You guys can send me a message. You guys can follow me on there. Send me a message, and I will. Whoa! I got two keyboards in front of me. I almost sent on the wrong one. I will send you a message for the link to call in. If anybody does want to call in while we're watching this game, you guys have thoughts. You guys have opinions, whatever. So I'll answer this here. Denver Charlotte Bois, Zach, who would win in a fight, Luke Shen or Nick Foligno? I think Luke Shen would. I think he's just too heavy of a base. Like, I think he could beat a lot of people just based off of how heavy he is. Also, still, no one's got it. Guys, I'm reading your comments. Like, I'm seeing Pilar, Munenori Kawasaki, Springer, Kirk, Chappie, Ryu. No. It's funny, though. You guys, like, Teoscar not on the team anymore. You guys are... Oh, wait. There was one that got it. My bad. Colin Burton got it. Bo Bichette. That's the jersey that I have. Last summer, I was there. Impulse buy. Was influenced to get it, ended up walking away with a Bo Bichette jersey on my back. That happened last summer. So it was at a game that I was at. I believe he hit a home run, and I won a bunch of money off of him hitting a home run. And I was like, I wanted a jersey. I didn't have one, so I was just wearing a T-shirt. Went right to the store right then and there between innings. Bought the jersey. Went right back. Sat down. Yeah, Bo Bichette, Flo Bichette. So that's why I got to keep my hair long in the summer, and then I'll be rocking that. So Bo Bichette. I will see you guys. I will be down at Jays games this year, 100%. Me and Colin. I'm going with Cole to a bunch of games, as many games as possible. Going to the dugout deals, money. Dugout deals, $5 beers, $5 dogs, money. Leo Kovikov says, Bo Bichette is Nylander's doppelganger. Yes, he's his brown-haired doppelganger. Mario Kart saying, Bo Bichette is the Mitch Marner of the Jays. You know what? I think that's probably fair. Vladdy, let's do some comparisons across here. Vladdy, Austin Matthews, obviously. He's the big-name guy. He's going to be absolutely smacking dingers, scoring goals, 60+. No doubt about it. Vladdy goes yard again today. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Like, that's our guy. Then you go down to then you go Matt Chapman, probably I feel like it kind of does him a disservice to say Matt Chapman is John Tavares, but he kind of is John Tavares, you know? Reliable, third baseman, he's a leader. Just stays quiet, goes about his business. He's not flashy. He's not in your face. That's kind of where I go there. Kevin Biggio is like Justin Hall, you know, not really reliable. Can't get much done. Coach seems to like him. He had him in the minors. He's like, this guy's got some talent. He can convert at the level. I don't know. Andrew Martin says Kirk equals Kerfoot. No. Maybe you could convince me into it, but no, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know if Kirk is Kerfoot, man. I like Kirk. He kind of fell off last year. He's struggling a little bit this year right now, but I don't know. Who would be Mario Kart says, did Biggio dirty? Yeah. This freezes every time I go to play it. I don't get it. I guess it's a representation of him and his level of play. Freezes every time. Luke Davidson says, who's the Matthew Nyes? It is Addison Barger. If you guys know who that is, he's a upcoming star in the minor leagues for the Jays right now. That's Matthew Nyes. Addison Barger. Meg says, check this. Oh my God. Okay, so I can't play the commercial because it's from the NHL, so I'll get in trouble. I wish I could. For anybody who doesn't know, that's a good message. No, Andrew, Andrew Martin says, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say Nyes is Nate Pearson. Don't say that. Please don't say that. Forget it. Don't say that. I'm going to play this commercial, and you guys are going to laugh at this. You find this funny.
Everybody in hockey knows Gordo St. John. This guy's a legend. He's like a hockey experience expert. Expert? Guru, maybe.
I think he came up with the idea of the hurricane siren.
Play Gloria? That was all Gordo.
When I got to Vegas, that's all I heard about. Gordo.
That's Gordo, boys. Gordo is joining the TNT broadcast this year. He's joining the TNT broadcast. Meg sent it to me and said, Gordo times NHL collab. I actually sent it to the Leafs Talk Discord chat. So if you guys see that, if you guys want to see messages like that, you can join the Leafs Talk Discord. You can join the Leafs Digest Discord there. And I'll send a link again if Andrew wants to send a link as well, because sometimes mine seems to not work. But if you guys want to join, talk about the Leafs, send funny videos about the Leafs, and obviously our guy Gord. But Colin M saying our PP needs to get going. We had 2 chances to bury one in the first. Samsonov looking steady so far. I would agree with all these points. I think that we actually probably had a couple more than 2 chances to bury in that first. I think that like this power play is the concerning factor to me. It really, really is. The way I look at this power play, the way that they struggle in situations where you're going to get big opportunities, you're going to have these chances. If you can't convert on these, I'm going to have concerns ultimately come playoff time, because last year, one of the guys I work with, he sent me all the statistics of it. Last year in the playoffs, the Leafs power play significantly dropped off. Their 5v5 play essentially held strong. They scored more than Tampa at 5v5. They scored more than Montreal at 5v5. But what they struggled with was the power play. They couldn't convert on the power play the same way that Tampa did. So look at Toronto's power play percentage. Look at how they competed at 5-on-5. They won the 5-on-5 battle last year. If you can't score on the power play, you're going to have struggles. And ultimately, I'm not going to say right now that it's going to be something that will lose them series, but it's going to be something that will hold you back. If you can't convert on power play opportunities, on odd man situations, we're going to have problems. I don't want it to be the case. I really, truly do not. But it is the reality. And I think that they looked better here tonight. I think that they looked better entering the zone. I think that they looked better on the setup. They moved the puck a little bit better here tonight. They just haven't converted on it. But it is something that we're going to have to sit here and say, hey, that you do have to convert. The problem for me here is that I feel like sometimes Keefe can get a little bit more into results than he can into process, where he's going to look at this and be like, well, we did these new things. We did this new zone entry. We did this new setup. We moved the puck around differently. We didn't score. Doesn't work. And then we're going to be all sitting here like, well, it looked the best that it's looked. So that is a concern for me. I'm not going to lie about that. I need to see it from him. I need to see Sheldon Keefe stick to this, continue to give it opportunities, continue to try it, because otherwise I think that we could be in for one come playoff time. But, yeah. I don't know. Toronto got outplayed in that period, but had the best chances, in my opinion. I think they got outplayed for the first 7 to 8 minutes. Once we got the power play opportunity, it started to swing our way, where I would say there was a period of time where during the power play and then through after the power play, we held the momentum. Then it kind of evened out. Then we got another power play opportunity and it looked like it took it back again. Now, obviously, being on the power play is going to give you those chances, but I think that that's a fair statement in terms of what we just saw from this Leafs team. But here we are back from the intermission. Back for the second period here. We're showcasing O'Reilly on the bench, but again, guys, and like I see it here in the chat, Colin M bringing up, yet somehow our power play is ranked second in the NHL. Yes, but that's the concern for me. Last year they were top in the NHL on power play. They were. But then when it got to the playoffs, they struggled. And the year before against Montreal, they struggled as well. They beat Montreal at 5v5. They lost in special teams, essentially. So if your power play is going to continuously fall off come playoff time, and you play the same way for, obviously that 1 year was a split year because of COVID, and then you go into last year where it's a full season, but throughout the regular season, your power play is one of the best in the NHL, and then you get to the playoffs, and each year it falls off. Oh my God, shoot the puck. Shoot the puck. I get looking for the opportunity, but shoot the puck. Zach Aston-Reese leveled that guy too. Good hit. Finish your checks, but shoot the puck there. That's when he's going to want back. But just to finish the thought is just with the power play is like clearly once you get to the playoffs, it doesn't work. Something falls off. It is what it is. I did see a comment in the chat here. I'm trying to find it. George Kerr saying, have TV on in background like Dangle, please. George, unfortunately, I can't. I'm not partnered or affiliated with the TV networks that do the broadcasts of the game. I cannot pay for the game. That is significantly way too much money to pay for the broadcast rights of this to have it on YouTube. So if you guys go and you want to send messages to all the affiliates and all the broadcast networks to tell them to let me stream it, and then you guys can help me get out there and tell them that they need to do this, then sure, I will do that. But for the time being, put it on your TV, put it on mute, and put me on in the background. You guys can enjoy the chat. And if you are watching right now, typically we do live post-game shows, not during the game. It is just after game, but we wanted to try this out here tonight. So if you're watching and you haven't hit subscribe, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Show some support to the channel. We will go live after. Oh, come on, Mitch. Good pickoff. He's going to slow up here. I don't think he's trying. Whoa. Marner with the shot deflects off the ref back at him. Back at the goaltender, that is. But yes, hit subscribe. We normally go live post game. We'll go live for every playoff game. And hit that like button. Andrew Lennon saying, Zach, how do you feel about the Leafs still kind of looking wobbly in the first and coming out with a little more force in the second? I don't like it. I think that's something consistency-wise that we need to get out of the game and start to figure out because, look, yeah, it's great to be able to continue to fight back and have that perseverance and have that in your game that you can do that. Okay, so it looks like Willie out with O'Reilly there. I don't know if they're caught on a change, but it looks like Willie, O'Reilly, Achari. Anyways, in terms of starting these games slow and then coming out in the second strong, don't like it because, yeah, it might win you a game in a regular season, or maybe you could win a couple games in a regular season. Oh, Kerfoot with a decent chance in front. But reality is, in a 7-game series where you go up against the team the next night and then you go back up against them again after that, at some point you're just going to get burned on that. Like, you're not going to be able to withstand that and continue to fight back because they're going to realize this team comes out slow in the first, jump on them as fast as you possibly can, and yeah. It's going to be hard to come back in a 7-game series if you come and start out slow and down to start every game. Oh, decent opportunity through there from Bunting. See, as long as this first line can create chances, well, I mean, create is not the right description. As long as this first line can convert on chances that they're creating, I think they're fine to stay together. They just do have to convert. So as it stands right now, 5 minutes remaining in the second. Toronto currently is 40% on the deserve to win meter. Looking at the chances, Boston has had 3 prime high-danger opportunities in front of the net. Toronto hasn't really had any. Boston is winning the expected goals battle, 0.61 to 0.27 right now. Leading to why we're having, obviously, them leading this game. You're looking at the highest expected goals on Boston as it stands through this part of the game is 0.25 for Trent Frederick, 0.14 for Oscar Steen. Go over to Toronto. 0.07 is the highest expected goals on the Leafs for Tavares. Second, Marner, 0.06. Third, Aston Reese, 0.04. Meg says, you know what's an interesting, irrelevant stat about the Leafs? The worst plus-minus on the entire team is Captain JT. Yeah. Look, I personally don't put too much stock into plus-minus. It's something I look at, but you have to take into context some of the situations that go on. How often are they the first ones out there after a power play? Kerfoot with a careless high stick. How often are they out there in situations right after a power play ends? How often are they out there right after a penalty kill ends, where maybe penalty kill comes out of the box, you score that way? Some of the plus-minus stats can be a little bit deceiving. You have to take them into context, but yeah. I'm interested to see how Toronto's penalty kill still fares against teams, because we saw them be the best penalty kill in the NHL, or one of the best penalty kills in the NHL last season. I think for the most part it held up in the playoffs. They didn't have the same numbers. It was close to kind of what they had in the regular season, but it's games like tonight where you're looking at new players into this system. You're looking at, okay, you're going to play McCabe, Shen, Yarncroke, Achari. Like, these are very different players than what we saw roll out there last year. They seem to be doing a pretty good job at keeping Boston's power play to the perimeter right now. Look, there you go. A minute left in the power play. You get a zone exit. Keeps everything at lookout, but keeps out of the zone. But Boston hasn't really been able to get too much to the inside right now. I think for the most part here, they're in pretty good position. Kind of got to commit to getting pucks out of the zone. That is a little bit of a concern. There you go. 30 seconds left on that power play. Boston back to their own zone. They're going to break it up here. McAvoy carrying the puck up the ice. I mean, O'Reilly coming out now on the penalty kill. Was Lafferty with them? So Hall's kind of being demoted to second power play unit. O'Reilly, clears the zone. I thought Guy was coming out of the box there for a second, but O'Reilly clears the zone. And the penalty kill is successful. The first penalty of the night successful. So there you go. Good first good first penalty kill for the Leafs here tonight. Keep that Boston team off the board. Look, I mean, so far what we've seen in this game has been a much more clogged game, but I think that what is a benefit or a bonus, a positive maybe to take out of this one, compared to what we've seen in past years, past games, matchups against teams like Boston, Tampa, whatever, where it is a clogged game and they're not allowing much to happen, is in the past, for the most part, it's been the other team clogging, and then flipping around the other way, coming back, has been Toronto can't generate anything, it's clogged, while the other team has their way with Toronto, and Toronto's basically in a mad scramble to stop things. We've seen a couple scramble plays here, but a bunch of them are coming off of the power play kind of ending. Here's Boston chance. Samsonov covers it up. There's a scrum in front of the net. But outside of that, basically what we've seen is Toronto has been able to play the claw game a whole lot more than in the past. Like, you add a McCabe, Gio, Brody, Luke Shen, who will step up on guys. You add O'Reilly into the mix. Those are Achari. Like, these are defensively responsible players who won't give up quick transitions, odd man rushes too often. They're going to slow things down. I think you got more of a buy-in from Matthews. You got more of a buy-in from Marner. So mixing those guys throughout the lineup, and then you go down to that fourth line with David Kampf, like, you have the ability to slow the game down and put pressure on to just shut things down and quiet them out as well. So it's not just one-sided anymore where it's the Leafs being clogged up constantly. Colin M. Very clean kill. Yeah. Mig saying Marner is best penalty killer. Doubt he's coming off. Yeah, Samsonov solid so far. Would agree with all these statements. I don't think that this. I think you guys are on par here. Robert Smith, I don't think the Leafs have opened up yet tonight. In terms of opening up offensively, definitely not. We haven't seen that like prototypical flurry where they kind of get into a run where all of a sudden they're kind of getting going, and they generate a whole ton of offense. We saw it more from the fourth line in the first period where they got down there, they put on some pressure, and then they're not much of a generator. They're more of a pressure line where they're going to keep you into that zone. They kind of rely on utilizing the point and spreading things out back to the point. So if you kind of can't get the puck back there, you're going to have some issues. That's reality. I think that's kind of, it is what it is there. But I mean, you know what? Not overly disappointed. The thing is, for me, that I'm kind of happy with right now is they haven't opened up defensively and allowed for plenty of opportunities to come against them, where you're going to be sitting here going, what am I looking at? Whoops. What am I looking at? Why are all these chances coming? We're not seeing Boston open up with flurries of opportunities against the Leafs here. It's more than anything, it's been I don't know. Like it's just been a pretty tight game for the most part. I think Boston's had some bigger or better chances, but don't think it's been too much. Trying to find Colin's comment there. Colin Burton, why are the Leafs wasting Marner's energy on the PK when they could save energy for offensive zone time? I disagree that this is the right way to kind of go about it. Look, one thing that you benefit from with Marner being out there on the penalty kill is that Marner makes the other team have to be concerned slightly about offensive ability. It's one thing that Boston has. It's one thing that Edmonton has. It's one thing that these teams who put star players onto their penalty kill have, where the other team can't just freely rip around and... Matthews, wrap it. Oh, maybe a trip there. I need to see it in a replay. I guess you can't see it in full speed. Maybe it's not. But if Matthews goes out, or if Marner goes out there on the penalty kill, the other team has to be aware of that. So it's something in the back of their head where they can't just open up and take these crazy chances. Like, someone at all times has to be aware of him out there. Someone at all times has to be concerned about his ability. Like, the other thing is, yeah, look, McDavid has to play 26 minutes a night. Otherwise, the Oilers wouldn't have been in the position that they're in. Marner plays that many minutes just because, like, Matthews could play that too. He could play on the penalty kill. I don't know why they don't, especially considering how good he is defensively, but he could play that. They just use him more for 5-on-5 minutes. So now you're going to have, like, one of the benefits too in this is that you're going to have those guys on the ice for a whole lot more minutes every night. Think about the conversation that happens when you sit here and you say, wow, when the Leafs take so many penalties, you don't get Matthews and Marner out on the ice. Well, now you do. Now you have stars on the ice. See, here we go. This is an opportunity here where you had a good shift from the Matthews line. They generated some chances. They generated some opportunities. You're getting some momentum. Marner shoved them. Blocked. Looks like you got blocked in front. You generated some opportunities in the offensive zone. Goes back to your end. Flip it around. Come right back. Don't play that, Marner. Hand pass. Yeah. It is what it is. Here we go. Now puck come out of the zone. You got to generate offense right away again here. Oh, that McCabe shot rung him in the mask. That could have been a trip, no? Watching this Matthews highlight back where he's wrapping around the net or skating around the back of the net. No, I don't think that's a trip. Back to Marner. Did Swayman save that, or was that blocked in front? I think Swayman might have got a glove save on that. Yeah, Leafs are bringing it here now. But now, keep the pressure going. Now, don't let off. You just generated a whole ton of opportunities. You got Boston back on their heels. Okay, hand pass happens. You're going to come outside the zone. Can you win this draw and get back in there? This scoreboard glitch that is going on the score tonight is driving me, on this broadcast, is driving me nuts. They keep showing 36 shots for the Leafs. Lose my marbles watching this. Yeah, there's literally 3 Collins in here right now. And we also have another Colin who's not here right now. I'm looking at 3 Collins stacked up, all commenting one after the other. I didn't see what happened to McAvoy here. See, Sam's not playing well right now. This is a replay of... Yeah, like, look, they're generating chances. I still don't like the fact that Marner, McAvoy, or Marner, Nylander, and Tavares are playing together. I think this is not ideal come playoff time. I don't think that this is really the way that you want to go about it. I think it limits you a little bit. It gives me a little bit of concerns in this sense too. I think if you do this with your lines and you have Marner, Tavares, Nylander all play together, you limit the offense to a degree on line 1 and line 3. Because, okay, let's say you want to put Marner with Tavares and you want to keep the first line as it is. Well, now by keeping Nylander up on the second line, you are taking away from offensive ability that you could have on the third line that makes them an even tougher matchup. Then you're going to go to this line. You could also go flip the other way. Okay, Nylander could be up on that first line. You're taking away offensive ability from there. Like, if you look at some of the lines this season and their expected goal share, which is essentially the goals that they've generated versus goals that they could be on for or on against, like the Matthews, Nylander, Bunting line was one of the highest performing lines in the NHL for the beginning of the season. They did generate opportunities. It just wasn't coming off of... The goals weren't coming off of Matthews' stick. They were coming off of Nylander's, but everyone kind of walked away from it with the perspective of like, oh, well, Matthews isn't going. No, he wasn't. But I think that it was somewhat coincidental in terms of when Marner got to play with Matthews, as when Matthews started getting going was also when he was healing from his injury. I think they were kind of coincided. So when he got healthy and he's playing with Marner, it just skyrocketed. Sam Conroy, what's it like not having 60-plus wins? I don't know, Sam. Neither do you. I don't see you out on the ice right now, brother. Pretty sure we're all just fans. But congrats. Yeah. All right. Now is when... Okay, turnover, turn the puck up the ice. Justin Holl with the puck in her own zone with pressure on are concerning. Is very concerning. Seeing that guy in your own zone with the puck. Okay, wins battle. So this is this is a defense pairing that has to play together. You have to go Shen Riley. You have to go McKay Brody, I think. Turnover, pass, knockback, picked off. Lafferty just fires into the far corner. There we go. Lafferty on the board. Picks the puck off from Pasternak in the neutral zone, carries it in, makes a safe play, cross ice into the far corner for them to go and get who's that? Kampf? No. Who was that? Was that Aston Reese who shot the puck there? Aston Reese shoots the puck, deflects to Lafferty onto his stick, buries in the empty net as he makes a smart play. You know, that could have easily been him skating around the back of the net, go try to get the puck in the corner. Instead, he takes a direct line to the net after he chips it into the corner, takes a slower line to the net. And then as the puck comes across to him, was that Aston Reese who shot it there? Gets the puck, buries into the empty net. The Leafs lead 1-0, just over 8 minutes remaining in the second period. Thanks for coming. Sam, where are you at, brother? What do you got to say now, Mr. Conroy? 1-0 Leafs. Lafferty, 12th goal of the season. Believe that is now his second goal with the Leafs. And yes, that was an assist by Zach Phillips. He has 10 goals, 4 assists on the year. Leafs getting a penalty, tripping penalty here. I think that was an accidental trip by Luke Shen. He apologized, but nonetheless. Do you see how late he called that penalty? You see how long it took him to call that penalty? Lafferty scores a big goal against a big team and maybe harder for Nyes to get on the team. Might be. Look, guys, I have no loyalties to keeping Nyes or having Nyes in the lineup. My preference is literally... Good block. My preference is literally put the best players in the lineup. If Matthew Nyes is not the best player in the lineup, or better than Lafferty, Kerfoot, any of these guys, if he can't beat anybody out, he shouldn't be in the lineup. You don't play him just to play him. You don't. Yeah, I'm not so certain about that tripping penalty. I'm really not. I can kind of somewhat see it, but did anybody else? Okay, there we go. But I think that's a phantom even up call there. RJWI saying, Zach, we are laying the body tonight. Number 3 even. Yes, I would agree with this. I'm looking at team stats here. Boston 23, updating. 23 hits, Leafs 17 hits. You're staying in the game. It's a heavy game. It's a hard-fought game against a Boston team that likes to play heavy, likes to play tough. You're staying right there. No. Are we as tough as Boston? No. We're not as tough as Boston. We're not. But can you at least stay in the game without getting away from your own? I think they can. I saw it last year to extents. I think it's different this year as well. I think you add in O'Reilly, you add in Achari. Those are guys that they have that in their game. It's not O'Reilly's not a fighter, but he's a guy who has grit in his game. He has that I'm not giving up. I'm gonna finish checks. Achari will fight. Shen will fight. McCabe tough. We have tough guys in the lineup. Not a tough guy, but guys who are tough, I think is the way to put it. We have those guys in the lineup, and when you have that, the reality is that you don't have to ask them to play something or play a way that they're not. You can kind of get your big boys to play, still play skilled. Matthews finishing checks all year. Oh, good opportunity by Nylander there. That could have possibly been a holder interference, especially if you're going to call the other one down the other end, but okay. You can let the other guys play their game, and I think Matthews has added some physicality. Marner does finish checks. He's not hitting anybody, but they added the other pieces into the lineup where you can kind of sit there and say, those guys can play the hard hitting game. When Corey Perry starts acting like an idiot, somebody else out there can step up and do something and respond to it. You don't need Matthews to go out there and stick up for himself, or to go out there and make hits on Sergachev like last year when he blindsided Marner or hit him in the head. Like, you don't need Matthews answering that bell anymore. It's going to be Achari and Shen and McCabe. Like, you got other guys to do it. A little bit of a questionable pass. Who was that? See, Nameless, I kind of disagree with what you're saying. The reason I disagree is because I think he's fine at making passes. I think he's not the greatest, but he's fine at it. And the reason that I'm fine with having him in the lineup is because you can limit his minutes. Play him for 741. Like, I don't care. Play him 741. I'm fine with that. That's how much he's played so far in this game here tonight. We got 4 minutes left in the second period. I think that's a fine deployment of him. You're not going to overuse him. You're not going to ask him to do too much. Keep him 5v5. You can put him out there for minimal shorthanded time. He's going to hit guys. He's going to bully guys. Fine with me. To everyone watching right now, if you haven't hit that like button already, please make sure to hit like. We got about 120 people watching. We're at 70 likes. There's no reason we can't get to 100 again here on this stream. So if you are watching, you haven't hit like, please make sure to hit like. Or if you are watching, you haven't hit subscribe on this channel, make sure to hit subscribe. That's a good play by O'Reilly there to put some pressure on, give Kerfoot an opportunity, and Kerfoot comes in with great support to be able to pop the puck loose within pressure, steal it out of there, and then you get an offensive opportunity. Makes the pass to the guy high coming into the zone. Kerfoot steal the puck. Haul back. Okay. All right, time. Oh. Yeah, Meg saying Shen is responsible enough and will set the tone when needed. He's the defensive version of Lucic. To a degree, yeah. Look, I think more than anything what Luke Shen brings, and I talked about it on here before, is kind of that element that Ron Hainsey brought to support Morgan Rielly. Ron Hainsey alongside Morgan Rielly was this calm, steady factor who played defense and strictly focused on defense, which allowed Morgan Rielly flexibility to kind of play his game at the other end and have an opportunity to skate up and down the ice. And then when you have a Luke Shen or a Ron Hainsey alongside of you, they can kind of protect you and hold up the back end to be able to be in a position where you can go play your game. Go play your game. Go be offensive. Go rush up. So if Morgan Rielly and Luke Shen end up in a position where they basically can feed off of each other by having one guy play one role and the other guy play the other, and you kind of go polar opposites, I don't think you're going to end up where Luke Shen's game is going to get dragged down by what Morgan Rielly does. Like, look at the way Brody's game comes down when he plays with Morgan Rielly. His underlying numbers, his metrics from that way, they are drastically worse when he plays with Morgan Rielly. McCabe's worse when he plays with Rielly. Gio, he can't play with them because they couldn't play offside. The offsides together. Hall, like, you can't put those guys together. Luke Shen's, it just is what it is, and they don't play that much together. Now, the other thing that I'll look at here and bring up on the stat sheet, Morgan Rielly tonight, 12 minutes and 44 seconds. So he's played about 4 minutes more than Luke Shen tonight. We just saw Luke Shen sit in the box. He does play penalty kill occasionally. And Morgan Rielly has played 2.5 minutes on the power play. He's going to get the majority of his ice time on the power play. Whether we agree with it or not, that's what he's going to get. Yo, I don't know if people know this. I think that they should. It's something that I'm going to remind you here now. Also, this warm-up that I'm watching right now is the most insane thing I've ever seen from Ryan O'Reilly. That was sick. I forget what I was going to say. I literally got mesmerized by what I was watching from Ryan O'Reilly out there on that warm-up drill that he was doing in between. I don't even know what I was going to say. I actually don't. Oh, I do remember. For those who don't know, Loop's Troops was originally Luke's Troops. It used to be Luke Shen's, and apparently when he got back here, he was trying to figure out if they had enough time left in the season for him to be involved. Oh, JT from the slot. Marner with a healthy little jab. See, now here we go. Ryan O'Reilly playing with JT again. I can't even figure out what the lines are. I got to see if I can find like something, but looks like things have been shifted around again. Two minutes remaining in the second period here. I think the Leafs are playing pretty well here tonight. I know that that's a blanket statement, and it's not really digging into too much. Adam Bale, McAvoy injured. Okay. See, the thing is with guys who get injured and leave games right now, there is a possibility, especially I would say with Boston here, where they might just say, forget it. Don't worry about going back in the lineup, because once you kind of get to this point in your season, like, if the guy is even slightly nicked up, you're just going to say, don't worry about it. Like, don't. Shot from the corner. That was a little sketchy. You're just going to say, don't worry about it. Like, don't go back out there. Look at the deserve to win meter now. Leafs are back to 44% on the deserve to win. I think that they've been significantly better here in this second period. They really have taken over since that goal. A minute remaining. All right, well, if anyone was following along with the bets, I still am sitting here. Marner, I need a Marner assist. That would be a strong way to close this one out. Obviously, it could still happen in the third period. I had a free bet that went on the Marner hat trick. Can't imagine that's happening here tonight unless this guy has just an absolute wicked third period or scores right here. Don't see that being the case. And then the other one was just Leafs money line. So let's hang on to that, see if we can get this one to close out. 30 seconds left. Pressure in deep by Marner here. Good break up in the neutral zone by Camp. See, that's one thing. That's what I'm talking about, is the Leafs have found a way here to clog up the neutral zone and not let it be free-flowing through. Like, a lot of times we see things get slowed down and get held up in the neutral zone, and often it goes against Toronto. Like, Toronto's the team. Oh, these guys play this fast-paced, up-and-down brand of hockey. They transition, they play circus hockey, whatever you want to call it. Well, and you get into a game where it is stuffy and it is tight and it is playoff hockey. Traditionally, Toronto has struggled with it because they can't do that themselves. They struggle at playing slow, stuffy brand of hockey. Tonight here against... Oh my God, get it out. Tonight here against Boston, the Leafs have been pretty good, pretty reliable at shutting things down and not allowing Boston to just freely transition up and down the ice. Adam Bailey saying, only our bottom six score these days. Pretty true. I have Leafs money line. Nice. Ed Manicom. Ed, you were roasting the Leafs earlier once you got in here. What are you saying now? You got called out by my buddy Call, and now all of a sudden you're on the Leafs side, eh? Go Leafs, go. Look, guys, I'm just going to remind people right now, if you're watching and you haven't hit the subscribe button, please make sure to do so. Hit that subscribe button as well. If you're watching and you haven't, hit like once we get to 100 again. I showed you earlier at the 50, bring out the smelling salts. But the other thing that I will let people know about, it is a relatively new thing that we do have here on this channel, is the channel memberships. If you are not subscribed as a channel member, you can get a channel membership here. You get access to all of the emojis in the chat that not everyone gets access to. You can send those away. Once we get certain levels of emojis, we're like 9 members away, we can add more emojis into the list there for people to be able to send. But you're looking for Hall Pylon emojis, bang. You're looking for Eddie Shack, bang. Myself holding a Leafs towel, there is that. Matthews, GQ, Dart Guy, like there's all these different emojis that you get access to. That blonde one is me with a playoff hair when I was in grade 9. Playoff hair, that was what I was rocking as well. The Leafs Digest logo, Angry Sheldon Keefe, Luke Shen's draft photo, Willie Styles. There you go. You guys get access to all of those as channel members. So it is optional, fully optional, but if it's something that you want to do, it is there. You can click join. You can gift channel memberships. It's something our guy Joe has done. So appreciate everyone who is a channel member. And in the normal post games as well as the pre-recorded videos, channel members, their names slide up along the screen. Obviously here tonight, we wanted to make sure that we put the score of the game up, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at. All right. Let's kind of break down what we've seen so far through the first 2 periods. Just in terms of, how things have gone for the Leafs' progression of playing well earlier on, to now where they're at, kind of closing out that period. I think things have been much, much better for the Leafs since the first period transition, when we opened up in the first and things kind of were slow. We saw Boston taking to us early. We were down 7-1 in shots. One thing that's been almost hilarious is like FanDuel has that 1 to 5 shots on goal. It's like, it feels like every night it's almost a lock that the other team, whoever Leafs are playing, it doesn't even matter who, is going to get to those 5 first. So it's felt like that. But here tonight, Boston does get to 7-1, and then all of a sudden you see the Leafs start slowly chipping away. I think once we kind of got through about 8 minutes into the first period, we started to see this Leafs team pick it up. We started to see them figure out, okay, we're into a playoff style hockey game here, and they slowed it down. They started playing a more clogged game, a more congested game in the neutral zone, not allowing Boston to transition up the ice as well. We see them start generating some more opportunities. You get a couple power plays. Once you're out there on the power play, this power play looked a whole lot different, and this is still in the first period, but the power play essentially entering the zone much different. How they kind of got themselves into the offensive zone, how they moved the puck around on the power play, like so much stuff from them. From that standpoint became, what just happened there? Became much more fluid. They generated more chances. Showing this Riley play, insane. That carried over into the second period. It closed out the rest of the first, and it carried over into the second. Once we got to the second period, the way we saw this team play into the second period was a lot more intense, a lot more prepared. And as soon as we came out into that second period, I mean, Andrew even said, like, how do you feel about this? And he slow starts in the first and the second. Like, consistency of this, consistently doing this is not going to work. This is going to be something that needs to be changed. But for tonight, I'm happy that they responded in the second period. Denver, Charlotte, Zach, which player can you see making a huge difference in the playoffs? Nola Chart. I mean, they're the obvious ones are the big boys. We need Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, Marner. We need them to be impact players. The player that I look to, like O'Reilly, is expected. Jake McCabe to me is expected. That's why we got these guys at the deadline. The guys that I want to like give an answer to you for on who can be a huge difference in the playoffs, it's a Noel Acciari. A Noel Acciari, to me, has the best opportunity to do so because he plays the physical brand of hockey. He plays playoff hockey. He commits to doing the little things. He's capable of getting the puck out of the zone. He's defensively responsible. He can contribute on offense. He's not likely to do so, but he can contribute on offense. And then the other thing is that this guy can play in versatile positions, whether he wants to play late in the game. He can close games out because of his defensive reliability, or he can kill penalties. So there's a lot of stuff that I see out of him that I think he could be a difference maker. See a question here. I've been talking for 2 hours now. I need to drink something. If anybody wants to call in during this third period, talk about what they're seeing, their reactions, how they're feeling about it, feel free to send me a message on Discord as well. On Twitter, I will send the link to my Twitter again here. If you want to send me a message on there, if that's the best way for you to do so, send me a message. I'll send you the link to call in if anybody wants to call into the show tonight. But yeah, I'm happy to take calls, and I'll send the message to join the Discord again. So make sure to check that out. But again, a reminder before I even continue on. Big call. Comes from it's sparkling water from the cottage. You know what I'm talking about? Sparkling water from the cottage. Also, hold on. I don't know if he's watching or not right now. If he is, I want everyone to send one of these in the chat. Even if he's not, I'll show him later. It is Mr. Josh Goodwin's birthday today. Yesterday, excuse me. Yesterday was Mr. Josh Goodwin's birthday. Everyone fire in the birthday cakes in the chat there. But big call. Sparkling water from the cottage. Okay. Matthew Kolakowski, what's up? All right, questions in the chat I'm going to answer here. Stephen Beer asked what I think of Lafferty's game. My honest opinion about Lafferty's game right now, it's meh. Not tonight specifically. I'm looking more in terms of overall how he's been his entire time with the Leafs team. I think he's been okay. I'm not trying to say he's been bad. I'm not saying he's been great. He's been okay. He's been a guy who is a serviceable player at $1 million who's here for another year. He's a guy who has speed. He's not the greatest at transitioning the puck up the ice. He can forecheck well, which I think is good because especially if puck's chipped in or if he has to chip the puck in, then he's capable of getting down there quickly. We saw on the play where he gets in the fight. We saw on the play where he ends up scoring the goal. A lot of that is generated from his speed. He's okay defensively. Like, he's not incredible defensively, but he is a guy who can participate in it. He's probably not as good as Engvall was in terms of stick or awareness in the defensive zone, but I think he's just as good as Engvall was offensively once they get to the offensive zone, because it's not like we're watching Engvall like capitalize on all these opportunities when he was here in Toronto. Yes, he's having success now that he's with the Islanders, but he's playing more minutes. He's playing higher up in their lineup. So, like, that's not a fair comparison that way. The one thing that I look at here that I think people kind of have to remember when it comes to Lafferty again is just you saved $1 million for basically the same player as Engvall. There are differences in their game, but Colin bringing up Lafferty had 2 assists last game. Like, yeah, there are differences in their game, but it is very similar in player. And you saved $1 million, and everyone sitting here watching has to understand how the cap is going to work and be implemented here moving down. We still need still want Nyes to come up. You want him to sign and have an opportunity to come play in the playoffs. You needed to open up that space for him to come. Like, that's just how I view Lafferty's presence here. He opened up $1 million, and he's serviceable. He adds depth. He adds speed. I think that him being a part of it, I think he's not afraid. He's not going to go blow people up, but he's not afraid. I think Engvall had times where he was timid and played a timid game, played afraid to go in corners or to finish a hit or to get hit. So he kind of adds that element where it's like at least different enough. And he's cheaper. That's all it is. Yeah, Denver saying he's a gritty player though, Zach. Yeah, I agree. He's a gritty player. Like, again, he's not like finishing checks on people like all the time or blowing people up. But, that Kachuk hit on DeBrincat. See, again, that Kachuk hit on DeBrincat, I don't really have a problem with it. I think DeBrincat had his head down and Kachuk hit him. I know we're talking about a different game, but it's on the screen right now. Sorry. All right. Warrior Womp. Topi Niemela scored his first AHL goal yesterday. Is it time to plan the parade? Buddy, I already planned the parade. I went and bolted my chair down on the Leafs lane. Like, don't even... We're already ready to go. This is a gong show in this Florida Sens game. This is pretty funny. Also, I will tell you, honestly, I don't really like Matthew Tkachuk. I like his game, but I just don't really like him because he kind of does like scummy stuff. I love watching Brady Tkachuk play. I know we're just like watching NHL right now on the screen, so that's kind of why I'm talking about this. I love watching Brady Tkachuk play. He feels like an honest, hardworking, hard-hitting, fighting, like gritty, old school player. Like I feel like he has that legitimacy to his game where he's not a scumbag in terms of like being chintzy. He's a guy who just plays hard. I think Matthew Tkachuk, he bothers me so much. Like, he just seems like a scum. He's probably a great guy to play with. Again, it's like Marchand, where you'd love to play with him on your team, but like, yeah. Just had to be honest about that. Saw it pop up. In terms of Niemela, though, and what we're talking about with Niemela, look, he's not joining the team this year. It's funny to talk about it, but like, we have like 10 defensemen. Like, Niemela's not playing. Oh my God, Owen Power scored in the net. Unintentional, but yeah. Here we go. Some nice highlights. But Niemela's not playing. All right, I hope everyone's watching these nice highlights. I'm watching it. This is just going to be like a strictly nice highlight tape. He's got a good release. Another opportunity. Drive the net. Oh, this is probably his assist. Logan Cooley, goal. Oh, they called it off. Goalie interference. Denver Charlotte, I'm not reading that comment because there's 20 minutes left in this game, and if I say it, things are going to completely change around, so I hope you understand. Colin Burton saying the exact same thing Zach is saying about Lafferty/Engvall is how I feel with Yarncroke/Kerfoot. I feel the Leafs picked him up because they know they won't re-sign Kerfoot. Maybe. I don't think that's a ridiculous take. Warrior Womp, why is Brady Tkachuk so much more of a class act than his brother? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, I love watching Brady Tkachuk play. I don't like watching Matthew Tkachuk play. It just bothers me because it's like he does dirty stuff. It's like, you don't have to be dirty to be a rat. Like, Brady's a rat. He pisses people off, but he's very good at hockey, and he seems like straight up. Steven Beer, Zach, do you think this game against the Bruins is a measuring stick game for the Leafs? No. I don't think this is a measuring stick game for either team. I think this is a tune-up game where you get ready, play some playoff competition. You play a team that if you win the first round and they win the first round, you're going to have to play at some point here in the playoffs. I don't think this is a tune-up at all, or a measuring stick at all. I think this is a tune-up. Like, I think this is an opportunity for you to just kind of see how you stack up. It's not like, oh, we need to get this win. We need to defeat this team. Like, it is not like that to me. I think that this is one where it's just like play playoff hockey. This is to get you into the playoff hockey mindset, the playoff hockey caliber. This is not, if you lose this game, you can't do it. If you win this game, you're ready for the playoffs. I think this is just to prepare you. This is an opportunity to see how O'Reilly fits. This is an opportunity to play in an intense game against a team who plays playoff style hockey all year long. Yeah. Ed Manicom saying Matthews needs a good center and a couple of wingers. Ed, what are you smoking, Ed? Hello?
Good one, Rand.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Good one, Randy. Good one.
That's for you, Ed. I have no idea what you were talking about. Also, hope you guys like this.
Having the time of his life.
Having the time of his life. Ed, I don't know what you're talking about, what drugs you are on right now to sit there and say Matthews needs a good center and a couple of wingers. But, yeah, as Colin's saying here, Ed is smoking all those plants in his display picture. He might be. Ed might be. That is a wild statement. Yeah. Ed also saying JT plays while protecting his head. If you're referring to that piece of plastic he wears on his dome, Ed, welcome to the 2000s. That is what they would call a helmet. So, yes, thank you for the insight, Ed. But yeah, it's like if you guys have seen. Oh, I bring it up here all the time on semi-pro when they're talking about Dukes. Dukes is homegrown. Dukes is on a little something homegrown. That is Ed. Ed is on a little something homegrown here tonight. Stephen Beer saying, Zach, bring Goody here to join the celebration. We'll bring Goody back maybe for the playoffs. We'll see. We'll see what we're feeling like. But yeah, got the passion. All right, I'm taking this off. Don't want to jinx it. Entire Pizza saying, was that Trailer Park Boys? No, that was semi-pro. Will Ferrell, when they bring the guy out on the court, he hits the full court shot. That's that. That is what that is. Also, everyone in the chat, say happy birthday to Goody. He's watching right now. Say happy birthday to Goody. Fire in the cakes in the chat. Say happy birthday to Goody. He's watching right now. The boys are watching. Fire in the birthday cakes for Goody. There he is. There he is. Goody, Habs up 4-1. Oh my God. See, this guy's been enjoying himself a little bit too much over on the Habs Digest channel. That's what's going on over there. But what a ridiculous. Goody, I hope you see our guy. Big calls in the chat here. Big call in the chat. And Ed on us a little something homegrown. But start of the third period, nonetheless. Let's get this rocking. Here we go. All right, 10 seconds into the third period, Boston gets a decent shot on net. We're looking at shots here, 22-22. Need the Leafs to. This is perfect. Stephen Beer is asking if this is a measuring stick game. Is this a measuring stick game for either team? No, it's not a measuring stick game, but this is a perfect opportunity for the Leafs to showcase that they can close things out. I'm not going to walk away from this one if they don't and say, oh, wow, this Leafs team can't get it done. They can't do it. They can't win games. But what I will do if they walk away from this is say, okay, at least they have the ability to. I'm not going to sit here and say consistently they can or they can't, either one way or the other. It's more just showing, all right, we got this in the system, because I think a loss here tonight is a little bit more of a concerning thing going down the stretch. Or if this one gets away from you, that's kind of where you sit here and you go, all right, that's frustrating. But guys, we did get a bunch of new people here into the stream who are watching right now. And if you are watching, oh yeah, they just showed the McAvoy hit again. That is pretty, I mean, you hope he's okay, but it was his own teammate. If you guys are watching and you haven't hit that like button. 7 likes away from 100, as the people who have been in the chat know, as our guy Goody knows, as all the boys watching with Goody right now, Hoover, Boswell, Doss, O-Dog. Sorry, Pasta just ripped an opportunity by there. That was a little bit concerning. Joel, all the boys watching out there, hit that like button. Show some love here in the chat. I don't know if Carter's with the boys, but all the boys in the GSBS, shout out to you guys. Hit the like button. Get the salts going for the start of the third period. 1 away. Saying Sammy looks salt. Oh my God. There we go. There's the man himself in the chat. Right at the perfect time. 10 Leafs Digest memberships gifted by the man himself, Joe Hill. Thank you, Joe, for the channel membership gifts. If you guys are watching right now and you want channel memberships, there is a perfect opportunity to go get them right now, as Joe Hill has gifted 10 channel memberships here. Thank you, Joe, for the channel memberships. And again, as a reminder for the people who don't know, if you get a channel membership there, you can send over all these little emojis that are in the chat. You can fire them away on the screen. So make sure to check those out if you want a channel membership. But 100 likes on the stream. 18 minutes left. Let's get the Leafs to close this one out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hitting that like button. And 10 channel memberships available to people who want them. There you go. Big call with the channel membership. All right. All right. There you go. Joe just got home from a tattoo. He's feeling good. Firing channel memberships away. My eyes are watering. Crying on stream for the boys. Crying on stream for the Buzz. Riley somewhat finished a check there. There you go. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is where we've been at. I see Mark Daigle asking how the Leafs have been playing tonight. They have been much more... There we go. Boozwell in the chat. All the boys in the chat here. They have been much more... They've been playing a much more playoff style hockey here tonight, it feels like. They have been clogging up the neutral zone and kind of taking Boston's game that we've seen Boston play against Toronto typically, and kind of turning it back and saying, all right, you want to play that way, we can play that way too. We'll both shut down neutral zone play, and then when these opportunities arise, we're going to have to just out complete each other on chances. When these chances arrive, can I score more than you can? I know that that's a very basic way to kind of describe what we're seeing here tonight, but I think that that's the reality of what we're seeing is they've both been playing these suffocating, heavier, slower types of hockey, and you got to just take advantage of opportunities when they arise. It's something that I talked about when we played against the Islanders in that game, is that the Islanders are a team who they don't create opportunities, but what they do is they take advantage of them when they come up. And we saw Toronto give the Islanders opportunities. Well, Boston is more than capable of creating opportunities, but Toronto has basically said tonight, we're not going to give you those opportunities. Like, we are not going to allow them to be there. We're going to take them away from you. And we're just going to limit chances. Boston has had some chances early in the third period there. We saw that chance of Pasta just ripping it just wide, but I think that for Toronto to play this style is kind of one of those moments where hopefully moving forward for the last 4 games and into the playoffs, it can be one of those like come to Jesus realization moments where they can sit there and be like, okay, we can play this way and we can be successful at it. We beat Boston in Boston playing this style of hockey. So it's kind of where I'm at with the Leafs play tonight. Thank you to everyone who's watching right now, who has hit subscribe, who has liked this stream. If you aren't subscribed right now, please make sure to do so, as well as hit like on this stream. I see Adam Bailey saying, don't get too cocky about Tampa. Elliott is horrible. Yes, he is. He's a major drop-off from Vasilevsky, that's for sure. Thank you to everyone who's in the stream right now, and I see some nice comments there about enjoying the stream. So, yeah, this is the first live watch-along of this season. Seems to be going pretty well. Enjoying it so far, but yeah, let's close this one out. Big third here, Boozwell. Big third. Boys. The boys in the GSBS. As I told Call. What am I reading? Ed, what are you okay, Ed? Ed saying Matthews plays center. There is a difference. All right, power play here for the Leafs. Look, if the power play plays the way that it did in the first power play in the first period, at some point these opportunities are going to come. Like, you're going to be able to convert on these opportunities. So let's see if we can get that here. I swear, if we have to watch this power play break out of the zone over and over and over again and then try to get in, I will be out of my tree frustrated, but that's where we're at. All right, here we go. Yes, big call. Marner PP assist is what we need. All right. There's no support there from Nylander. He's kind of stuck in the corner. I don't know why he's got himself in that position. All right, here we go. Get the puck back, win this battle. Move the puck quickly. Marner kind of circling around. See, this is where we get into... See, this is where puck movement fast is causing Boston to have to spread out. Bad pass by Willie. Just a bad pass by Willie. But... moving the puck and spreading things out this way, like moving it this quickly doesn't allow Boston to set up and get in a quality defensive position where they can kind of hold Toronto to the outside consistently. Like, being in a spot where the puck continues to move around the outside fast keeps them on their toes. Marner, shot from the point, tips just wide, kept in by Riley, and shot out by Boston there. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let me see if I can... See, I need to add this video for when I do these streams for when the Leafs score, because... you guys know exactly what it is, especially in a game like tonight. Like, I should have played it for that Lafferty goal. I didn't. That was a fumble by me. All-time fumble. My apologies. But I'll get it set up here for when the next goal happens. All right, nothing on that power play. One shot generated. I still think, though, that they moved the puck decently well on that one. Like, I'm not overly frustrated with what we just saw there. Could it have been better? Yes, it could. I think Willie forced that pass a little bit. It got out of... like, there was no need for him to do that. Ultimately, ends up having to go down the other way. You have to break back in. This Leafs team struggles a little bit in terms of breaking the puck in the zone still. So, yeah, like, that's not
Bruins!
ideal. My bad. But, yeah. Not bad power play. Nameless saying Toronto's taking this game seriously like a measuring stick. Yeah, I mean... I think they should. I think Boston's taking it seriously like it's a measuring stick game too, or not like a measuring stick game, but I think they're taking it seriously as well because this is important for them to try to get up try to get league records. Like they could make history here, not tonight, but this season. They need all the points that they can get. They need all the wins that they can get to kind of close this season out and continue to that historic run. They fumbled the bag a little bit with some losses to Chicago and some lower end teams mixed in over the last little while. So they kind of got away from them. They're going to look here at a team that they could potentially play in the first round, a team that you do have a little bit of a rivalry with. And it's an opportunity for you to kind of get right back into the right shape, the right position. What is this a penalty for? McCabe is getting nasty. What is this a penalty for? Can I not rewind that? What the? Okay, got it. All right. I see some saying we don't want the Bruins school song. Look, if you were here last year in the streams, you know what that's all about. You know what we're looking at with those. But yeah. Charlie Coyle's a clown, honestly. Tripping, sure, but you're a hero, buddy. You're a hero. Toronto is looking good. Colin Burton saying, I want to see what lines look like with the bench tighten. Does O'Reilly go up a line and bench get shortened? Seems like a good way to close out a game. I think he does. I think that Sheldon Keefe would basically very quickly move O'Reilly into a position to be in the top 6. We also see him get very frustrated with Nylander and shove him down the lineup. We see him jam O'Reilly into positions where he basically... Or not O'Reilly. We see him jam Nylander in spots where he'll just sit down for extended periods of time and be like, oh, like this guy's not going here, even if he is actually playing pretty well, but he'll be pretty quick on a leash with Nylander. So I could see him dropping down if they keep lines like this. I could also see him putting him in a spot instead of one of Yarncroke or Bunting, or I could see him moving Marner up and then going lines like that, or Nylander up. Like, I would 100% see him moving up into the lineup for sure. Joe Hill there, another channel membership, 5 channel memberships donated. Thank you. Gifted, excuse me. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. Penalty kill underway. Ed. Ed. All right, there you go. This puck's frozen. Swim in. Can't play that there, brother. Ed. All right, let's kill this off. Strong penalty kill here. Get some momentum. Marner. Give me a Marner short-handed apple. Never mind, he's off the ice. Okay. It is what it is. All right, clog the neutral zone here on this power play. Don't give them an easy... There you go. Forced... No, that's got to be out, Brody. That has to be out. See Shen out here on the penalty kill. Not much he could do to get that puck out. Whoa. It's like Cody Ceci shooting the puck. All right, there you go. Puck's out. Minute left on the penalty kill. 10:50, 10:40 remaining on the power play. Or on the third period. Minute left on the power play. See the Boston zone entry there. This is what I'm talking about with the Leafs in terms of frustration of why they don't... Like, why do you continue to just go straight lines up the ice, drop back, and then try to enter the zone, forcing everything to get clogged? Do you see how Boston entered the zone there with Bertuzzi coming across to the right side of the ice? Yes, he looks like he's throwing a behind the back, no-look pass, but he fires it across the ice to the guy on the opposite side, spreading things out. So you're kind of coming up the ice one way, everyone's pushing up the ice there, and then once he slings it across the other way, now it has to focus your attention. So you're kind of clogging up ice on one side, paying attention to the guys that are here, but now you have to switch across that way and break things up there. It allows you to enter easier. Obviously, this Leafs penalty kill does a very good job here, shutting this one down. Good penalty kill for them, but nonetheless, the point still stands on the power play entry. Is like looking at just what Boston did here, how they entered the zone. I don't understand why Toronto can't switch that. Brett Lohr saying, did we ever get call on number 4? No, call on number 4 did not show up here. I did not see him come into the chat. That was a great penalty kill, though. Call on number 1, Colin Sinclair. Yes, Ed. How did you come to the conclusion of 32 shots? Why is that your number there? He says 7 more shots to 32. Couldn't tell you why. Is this because there's 32 teams in the NHL? Is that what this is about? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Matthews lying on the ice too. Couldn't get puck out. Tried to go off the glass. I don't mind it. I mean, the guy has to jump up and grab the puck at the blue line, but part of the problem with this when this happens, it's Tavares, Nylander. I don't think that came out of the zone. It's Tavares, Nylander, and was Matthews on here with them? No, that's in. It's in. It's onside. The forwards are out past the blue line when this turns around, so you're coming back 3-2. You see, looks like Matthews there backside, trying to catch the guy. Yeah, Boswell saying, haven't seen this before.
Good one, Randy. Good one.
Yeah. Again, guys, watching right now, 145 people. 35 of you haven't hit like. I don't know who you are. I don't know who it is that hasn't hit like, but if you haven't hit like, please hit that like button. If you're signed into your channel and you're here watching, Joe is gifting out channel memberships so people can get channel members. You can get access to all these emojis here in the chat, including these ones of me holding out a flag and with the blonde hair, and Willie and Shen and Angry Keith and stuff. So you can get channel memberships if you want, but make sure to subscribe here to the Leafs Digest channel. What? I don't think I mean, I'll take credit for it, but I don't think I predicted this to happen, the 32 shots to happen, or 37 shots, whatever, 32 shots to happen in the first period. See, Riley jammed down in that corner there. I mean, I did say in the first period, Riley should join the offense tonight and kind of play that game and let that seep into it. Have that confidence for him, especially against a top team like this, a team that plays well defensively. I wanted to see Riley kind of join in the offense and get that going, but leave him be for that one. I don't know that I like this. Is Keefe sitting Shen here? Oop. Marner gets stood up. Oh my god, is this thing going to go to OT here? Nah, close this one out before we get to OT. I don't want to see 3-on-3 because Boston is far too good at 3-on-3, especially at home. Just win this one in reg, please. Win this in reg. I'm not a fan of this Marner, Nylander, Tavares line. Not at all. I just don't think they're generating enough. I think that when Marner and Tavares play together, the guy that they need on the other side isn't a Nylander type player. I think that it's too loaded, like kind of similar to where we get with the power play, where we sit there and it's like, you have so much star power on this power play. Like, it's nice to have in a late game situation all those guys out there together. I don't have a problem with that. It's more just like, I think at a 5v5 level, it's kind of like when you get to basketball where like Dallas goes out and gets Kyrie Irving, and it's like, well, now you got two ball handlers. Like, I think you just have too many people who can and probably should be holding the puck at times, where Marner and Nylander are guys who can transition the puck from one zone to the other. Tavares is a guy who's not the greatest at it, but that being said, he still is a guy who can do it from time to time. And then once you get to the offensive zone, all three of them are guys that are capable of possessing the puck. Now, in hockey, it's a little bit different because you're kind of trying to just create chances and get to open ice, but I think for those three guys playing together, it's just a little too much. It's just a little too much. Ryan Rebello saying trade O'Reilly in the offseason before his contract looks worse. NMC, buddy. NMC. Going to be insanely difficult to move that contract in the offseason. I don't know how you do that, especially if Dubas is still here. The guy who signs you to an NMC trading you a year later, I can't see that being the case realistically. So, yeah. Lucas Bubanko, how are you doing tonight? Doing well. Oh, the screen's not updated. There we go. Doing well. Want to see the Leafs close this one out. This is the longest I've ever talked for consecutively, probably in my entire life. 2 hours and 20 minutes right now, just straight talking, keeping you lads entertained and females still watching. This is the longest I've ever talked for straight. So, yeah, that's interesting. I'm just going to let you guys know as well. There's no post-game show. From what you see from during the game here, this is the show for tonight. I don't know how I can even continue after this game to just like break this one down after I talked about it for 2.5 hours straight. I apologize, but that's the reality. The other thing is tomorrow, day off, guys. No NHL games tomorrow either, so my normal job, no job there. Having beers with the fellas. It's Goody's birthday. You know what it is. Like, you gotta... Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, come on. The GSBS fellas, they know. Stephen Beer, Zach, would you do this play-by-play live chat during the playoff games, or it's only for today? we'll see. We'll think about it. This has been pretty successful. A lot of people, way more people than I thought, showed up. So I appreciate you all for showing up here and sticking out and being a part of this. It does mean a lot. I do really appreciate that. But we'll see what happens when we get to the playoffs. So this is something you guys want again. I think that this is something we could probably do. That being said, the playoffs will be way, way, way more intense. And JT, and the reactions could be a lot more interesting, to say the least. All right, this jersey's sliding around everywhere. If you guys are watching right now and you haven't hit that like button, please make sure to do so. If you're watching and you are not subscribed to this channel as well, please subscribe to the channel. Still trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the playoff time, so hit that subscribe button. At 150 likes here, again, you guys know what happens. Every set of 50 likes, breakouts, the smelling salts, the Energizer Bunny, it gets you going. But yes, get that cottage water in you. Have to. You know what? One more for good measure, especially if we go to OT. I don't think I can, show them on stream. Don't know if that's allowed, but. All right. 3 minutes left in the third. We're being outshot 30-29. Score is 1-1. Boston obviously ties this one up with about 8 minutes left there. So Steven Beer. Is that because your name is Beer there? Ed the Buble. Yes, that's what it is. I'm having the Buble. Shots even. Getting adventurous, perhaps. All right, look, this is what I'm looking for from this Leafs team to close out this third period. Obviously, we'd like to see them win here in regulation. Just close this one out. We don't really trust them in 3-on-3. I think that that's basically a widely understood and accepted thing with this Leafs team so far this season, is just that they don't got it 3-on-3. For some reason, every time John Tavares ends up out on the ice, it's a goal in the back of the net. Justin Hall, goal in the back of the net. Morgan Riley, goal in the back of the Leafs net. So let's keep it away from 3-on-3, close it out. But more importantly, what I want to see is don't give up the chances. Don't give up the chances against. You're going to end up in situations where, Boston's going to be able to come down, transition out of the zone, maybe create an opportunity, but don't give up the. Who was that? Matthews. Don't give up the high danger chance. All right, Matthews breaking the zone. Do a Matthews dominating thing here. All right, breaks around the net, slot pass, Marner or Yarncroke. All right, Bunting, battle back, Yarncroke back in, dumps it down low. That's where I'm at. I just need to update of where I was at. Sorry, guys. Matthews net front. See, Bunting on the shift is... Oh! Give me something. Pretty good shift there from Matthews. What the hell is Charlie Coyle doing? He's trying to kiss this guy. I know he's on GQ, Charlie, but come on. Relax. Relax. We're playing hockey here. Yes, Matthews did turn it on. Maybe a little too late, but did turn it on there. Guys, like the stream if you haven't already. Like the stream if you haven't. All right, also, by the way, 9 new channel members here on the stream means that for the next show, which will be Saturday night after the game against the Montreal Canadiens, we can add a couple more emojis into the chat. So if you've got recommendations, if you've got requests for what you want to see as emojis in the chat, please make sure to send them in there. I will add some new emojis for the next stream. We do have enough channel members now to add some more. So yes, send your recommendations into the chat. We'll add those. Gord making his appearance here in the chat. What's up, Gord? Appreciate you coming out. Also, if you guys want, when we leave here tonight, we will have a little special tribute video to close out the stream. So you're going to want to see that. So you got McCabe. Goes for a change there. Minute left. I don't necessarily love... Okay. Aston Reese out on the ice. See, Aston Reese, his line essentially after about a halfway through or 7 minutes into the second period, decent opportunity there. They kind of went quiet. I think some of it was from the fact that there was a bunch of penalties for both teams. Orlov, 100.5 mile per hour slap shot. Holy smokes. Adam Bailey saying, I want the Gordon Graham movie. Maybe me and Goody have to make a trip out to Japan and sit down and do a documentary with Gord. A vlog for Leafs Digest. Visiting Gord. Guys, 22 more likes. 22 more likes. There's no reason we can't get there. 22 more likes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. OT between Boston and Toronto. Entire Pizza saying, are you going to go to watch any of the playoff games, Zach? Probably not. I highly doubt it. If I do, you'll know in the Leafs Digest Discord as well as on Twitter. I'll send them messages in there so that you guys know that, because in that point, I won't be able to be home to do streams. I might do the phone-held stream like last year, just won't be as intoxicated as we were last year. So I'll make sure of that because I don't think that was the best stream ever. I think we deleted it after the fact, actually. It was a little too ridiculous. But, yeah, if we do go to that, you guys will know. But as of right now, the plan is no. I will be at home watching. I will be at home reacting and then doing the post-game reactions. And maybe, depending, maybe we'll do a stream. Maybe, you know what? I'll say this. Maybe we'll do a Game 7 stream if it gets there. But I think the Leafs close this one out before 7. So I'm not worried. I don't think there will be a live watch along for 7. Stephen Beer, Zach, did you go to a Leafs playoff game with Goody last year? I think I remember you did. Yes, I did. Ryan Rebello put Nylander with Matthews. He played his best hockey there. Nylander did, yes, but the problem is with that, Matthews did not. I think part of that was the fact that Matthews was struggling at that point with injuries. And, honestly, I'm live bet right now. Give me Matthews anytime goal scorer to close this one out. No! GSBS boys, if you can, I'm trying to get this in right now as well. No, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. All right, let's watch this. Yep, channel memberships gifted here by Joe Hill. Thank you, Joe, for gifting those as well. 175 people watching right now. If you're watching, you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching and you haven't hit like yet, please make sure to hit like. I can't look at the chat. I think you guys are ahead of me. Okay, Boston in the zone. Patrice Bergeron steps in. Oh, Marchand missing net. O'Reilly's getting a hooking penalty here. I did mean Riley's getting a hooking penalty here, by the way. Look, I'm not gonna complain about this call, but in reality, this is very confusing to me because he's not tying hand, like he's not like hooking, like he's trying to make a hockey play. I think Miggs right here saved a goal, like we'll take it. But like, if you can't lift stick, what are we doing? I don't know. Like, I kind of get it. He definitely got his hands or his stick into the hand area. Oh my God, Florida's winning 7-1. But, yeah, give me. Like, I kind of think he's just lifting stick there, but. Is what it is, I guess. All right, let's kill this penalty. Honestly, this is where when people are asking why Marner on penalty kill, this is an opportunity for that. Big call. Check your check text. All right, Leafs ML plus 200. I think they can kill this penalty. I have a lot of confidence in them, honestly. I'm not looking at chat. I think you guys are ahead of me. I'm on an internet stream right now, not on cable. Just good active sticks, stay in the lanes. Boston has basically had to stay on the peripheral the entire night on their power play, any opportunities they've had. Good save by Sammy. Get square, good save. I think we can still close this out, and I think if it goes to shootout, I think that look, honestly, if it goes to shootout, I think Boston's probably in a better position to win this one. But that being said, give me some Maple Leafs magic here tonight. 8 more likes. Give me 8 more likes. 8 more likes on this stream. Good. Active sticks. Yes, Kempf. I'm sorry if I'm delayed. Halsey, get that puck out of there. Thank you very much. 1:17 left on the power play for Boston here. I'll go a little play-by-play. I'll go my own Leafs Digest Joe Bowen. Marchand entering the zone, cuts across. Good stick there by Marner to knock it away. Brody battling in the corner. The Bruins are all over Brody as he battles that one out. He gets away with it. Marchand and Bergeron stick it away. In front to DeBrusk. Saved by Samsonov. All right. There we go. 54 seconds remain on the Bruins power play. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in overtime. That was a little bit sketchy by Samsonov. He could have grabbed that one and it got away from him. DeBrusk, good opportunity in front, but great save. Nice. Clear. We're on the same online stream, Zach. Nice. Face off won by the Bruins. And blown dead. I can't tell for what, though. Is the linesman calling a penalty here? No. Yeah, he is. The linesman just called a penalty there. Am I the only one seeing this right now? The linesman just called a penalty here, right? The outside linesman. Oh, he's saying he played it with his hand. He's saying the centerman played it with his hand. You can't play it with your hand on the face-off. That's what it is. Sorry, guys. It took me a moment there. That's what he's calling here. The outside linesman, which makes sense why he's calling this. That's what it was. That's what it was. I can understand why Bruins fans are going to be like, what the heck? What is that? But I think that that's what the call is. And if it's happened, then if that's the rule, then I got it. So there's no penalty on the play. They're saying Kampf played it with his hand, too. They're saying they both played it with their hand. All right. Brody sends it down the ice. Boston back to get it. I'll continue my play-by-play so you guys know where I'm at a little bit here. As we go OT, I'll give the rundown. One more like there, guys. One more like in the chat, and we'll bring them back out. One more like. Almost 200 people watching right now, so you know what? Maybe bringing the live watch-alongs is something we got to do to the playoffs. But sent down the ice by the Leafs. Clear zone. 20 seconds left remaining on the Bruins power play here. Bruins turning it back up. Entering the zone. Charlie Coyle spinning around at the blue line. Fake shot by Pastrnak. Back to the point. Shot wide. Coyle recovers the rebound in the corner. Back to Coyle. Coyle across to Pastrnak. Pastrnak cross to Orlov. Pastrnak. Scores. Look, all right. I told you guys honestly before the game, during the game, win or lose, ultimately, I wasn't going to walk away from this one either way, basically saying like, hey, this is a measuring stick. This means that we can have success in the playoffs. What I will say is more process-oriented, okay? The Leafs played a very good game here tonight. They lost, and I'm not trying to be a participation trophy kind of fan or a participation trophy kind of guy. They lost. But I think they played well. I'm going to pull up and look at real quick here before I wrap this up. The deserve to win meter. The Leafs basically even this out, actually to the point where the deserve to win meter is shading towards the Leafs deserving to win, just at about 50.5% depending. So you know what the honest truth is? I'm not overly frustrated with this one, other than the fact that I'm upset that they lost the game. I would have loved to be on here for this stream, have watched them win, have got to celebrate with you guys. They didn't. It is what it is. This team is not great in 3-on-3. As well, you look at Boston kind of closing out. They were on the power play to close. Had a bunch of opportunities. Obviously, power play comes to an end. 4-on-4, and then Pastrnak. The guy's a stud. He's just a stud. Gets it, closes this one out. You guys did hit 150 likes. So, for you guys, I will bring this out here. The Salts. Thank you for 150 likes. Before I do this, you know what? Thank you to everyone who tuned in here tonight. I really, really appreciate the support. I appreciate the support through the course of the entire season. I mean, we're looking at here 78 games, no injuries tonight. You lose this one in OT to the Bruins. It is what it is, but you get a point. Tampa lose to the Islanders there. I think there's still some things to work on, but I think this team is in a much better position than we've seen them in years past. I think this is a very different team, a team that is built very different. This is our first live stream of the season for this channel. I think you guys supported well. I think we did. I think this was a great stream all around with myself, with you guys, the support you guys gave. So I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate the support you guys gave. Thank you very much for tuning in here tonight. Thank you guys for hitting the like button, all the channel memberships, the subscriptions. If you did enjoy the content and you aren't subscribed yet, please make sure to hit that subscribe. If you haven't hit the like button before you leave. If you have any thoughts about tonight's game, drop them in the comments, drop them in the live chat before we leave. But guys, I really, really appreciate all the support you guys have given throughout the year. I really do. It means a lot. We're going to finish this season out strong. 4 more games left here as we go through this one and finish this regular season. We get to the playoffs. That's where it matters, not a game like tonight. So whatever. It is what it is. Forget it. We move on. Move on to Saturday. I'll see you guys on Saturday in the game against Montreal. 150 likes. Thank you guys for the support here. And as always, as we get to the rounds of 50, bring out the Doom cylinder, the Ward's Doom cylinder. So thank you guys for the likes. Here we go. Cheers. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in here. This has been the first watch along in the 2022-2023 NHL season. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you haven't hit subscribe, hit subscribe. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure to hit that like button. Leafs fans, I always appreciate the support. I will see you guys back here Saturday night after the game against the Montreal Canadiens. Let's kick the Habs' ass. Leafs fans, will see you guys on Saturday. And as always, keep believing.
Don't go change it. Do it your way. Go down blazing. Don't go change it. Do it your way. Go down blazing. Sugar, spice, everything nice. Have a little class and do it right. I gotta say the way I feel.
That's right.
Buttercup, this is serious stuff. I love the people. You ready? Go. I don't get enough time in this show. I love the people. How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing?
Lovely to look at and delightful to see.
Love the hat. A wise guy, eh? You look good, really. You look good. Don't go change it. Do it your way. Go down blazing. Don't go change it. Do it your way. Go down blazing.